Parsha begins about establishing the Sanhedrin, the Bezdin, the rabbinic court. And the Torah says you must put the laws before them. So Rashi cites Chazal, Loma Nispa Parshas Din Parshas Mizbeach. Why does the Torah juxtapose the portion of laws to the portion of building the Mizbeach, which was the discussion at the end of the portion of Yisro? Mizbach Adoma Tasali should make an altar made of earth. It should not be suspended. It has to be filled with earth. Lomaloch Shetosim Sanhedrin Eitzel HaMikdosh. That the Sanhedrin, this is referring to the Sanhedrin Gedolah, the Sanhedrin that was comprised of 71 judges. There were 70 judges and there was a chief justice. They convened in the Lishkas HaGozis, in the chamber of cut stone, which was right alongside the Azorah, the sanctuary, where the Mizbeach was. So the reason why the Torah juxtaposes Eila Mishpatim, which is referring to the Sanhedrin, convening and adjudicating the laws next to the Mizbeach, that their location has to be near the Mizbeach. Now the question is why? What relevance? The Sanhedrin Ketana, the Sanhedrin, which is comprised of 23 judges, all smuchim. They all have the ordination of Moshe Rabbeinu. Otherwise, they cannot rule on capital crimes, on penalties, on many things. They're not qualified. They don't have to be in that proximity of the Mikdash, of the sanctuary. But the Sanhedrin Gedolah, they must be there. They must convene alongside the sanctuary. The question is why? The law is that the only time the Sanhedrin Ketana, and every city, every town that has 120 Jews, it's a question, maybe a little bit more, has to have a Sanhedrin Ketana. The only time they could rule on capital crime cases, to put a person to death, that's only if the Sanhedrin Gedolah, if the court of 71 is convening in the Lishkas HaGozis, alongside the sanctuary. If they're disbanded, the lesser courts cannot rule on that. They're connected to that court, to the higher court. If the higher court is in that location, all the other courts are fully qualified, fully functional to rule on any halacha, give verdicts, capital, penalties, whatever it may be. But the moment the Sanhedrin Gedolah disbands and they're not there, the lesser court cannot rule on these laws. So we see there's a connection. And because the upper court is connected to the location of the Shekhinah, the divine presence, which is the Azorah, Vosli Migdash Shechanti B'Socham, then every court is connected to the high court, and therefore they have that capacity to rule on these other things, these other areas of law. The Ramchal writes that every living species is endowed with a nefesh. So the way every species forms, its physicality, its shape, its function, its temperament, everything is determined by the nefesh that it's endowed with the life source. A human being, the reason why a human being develops and forms and functions in the physical state as he does, because that's nefesh. The nefesh of a human being, the life source of human is different than the life source of any other species. He explains that human intelligence is rooted in the life source. That's nefesh. That's not neshama. That's not the soul. The soul only has relevance only to the spirituality of the Jew. So the brain, the mind, the brain activity is really something which only has relevance to the physical world. Has no relevance to the spiritual world. The only reason why the mind is able to process spiritual concepts and come upon spiritual horizons is only because of the neshama. Because the Jew has a soul. And the soul of a Jew is not the soul of a non-Jew. It's a different dimension of neshama. So therefore, but to merit that special understanding and insight, to grasp it as you are supposed to grasp it, what we refer to as MS, truth of Torah, this is only if one merits siyata dishmaya, if one merits divine assistance, as we always say over, in the name of Chaim Volozhina, Yogaita Motzosa Tamim, the Gemara says, if you toil in Torah and you've come upon the truth of Torah, you believe that person. It doesn't say Yogata Hivanto, you've toiled, you've understand. Motzosa, it's a gift, it's found, it's a find. If you toil sufficiently, you will find it. Hashem will endow you with that understanding. Because again, the mind is rooted in the nefesh, which is physical. To be able to transcend that, you need special siyata dishmaya. That determines what the person's intended, what's his level of dedication. We say every day when we finish the Shemona Esrei, we have a tefillah, Sheibon Beis Hamikdash, B'meir V'yameinu V'seichel Kedim Zerasecho. We juxtapose the supplication of the rebuilding of the Beis Hamikdash and to receive our portion of Torah. What's the relevance? What does one have to do with another? Yibon Beis Hamikdash V'seichel Kedim Zerasecho, and you should give our chelek, our portion of your Torah. The understanding is, the only reason why we're denied the understanding of emes, of truth, is because there's a distance between ourselves and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But if the Beis Hamikdash Mirz Hashem will be rebuilt, once Hashem dwells in our midst, which we're connected to the source of all truth, then we merit the Chelek in Torah. So again, the reason why the Sanhedrin were able to come upon the truth of Torah and to elucidate it at a level, because they had that special siyata dishmaya. But why did they have it? Because what was the location? That location was the location of the divine presence, the Shekhinah, which was the Azorah. So therefore, when they would convene, then they merited that clarity, and as a result of that, all the others lesser courts were able to rule in these areas. But if they should disband and they weren't connected at that higher level, all the lesser courts did not have that siyata dishmaya to be having that level of clarity.